Hello students, I am Anup sir and today I am going to start with the topic machines for class 10th. Now before starting to this topic, let us try to understand what advantages do we get from a machine. So these are the 4 advantages that a machine gives us. The first one is a machine acts as a force multiplier. Now what does this mean that machine acts as a force multiplier? That means you apply less effort and more load is overcome by the machine. So that is known as machine acting as a force multiplier. The second advantage that we get from the machine is it helps us to change the point of application of effort to a convenient point. Now what this statement means? This statement you can understand with the help of an example, like we do the paddling in a cycle. Whenever we do the paddling in a cycle, we apply effort on the pedal and that effort is transferred to the rear wheel, and this is how a machine helps us. The third point where the machine helps us is in changing the direction of the effort to a convenient direction. See, sometimes what happens, we apply effort in convenient direction and the outcome of that effort is in the upward direction. So that example you can take when we are drawing water from a well. We use a single fixed pulley over there. On the pulley, we apply the effort in the downward direction and the bucket is raised in the upward direction. So there we find that the machine had helped us to change the direction of the effort applied. Fourth advantage that the machine gives us is to gain in speed. Gain in speed means effort point moves less whereas the load point moves more. So if we combine these 4 advantages given by a machine, we get the definition of a machine. So what is a machine? A machine is a device which makes our work easy. And how it makes our work easy? It acts as a force multiplier. It helps to change the point of application of effort to a convenient point. It helps to change the direction of effort to a convenient direction, and it helps to gain in speed. So this was the definition of machine. Now there are certain terms which are related to machine. The first one is load. What is load? Load means the resistive force which we overcome by applying the input force. What is effort? Effort means the applied force. So hope these two are clear to you. Both of these are force. Load is also a force, effort is also a force. Only the difference is load is resistive force whereas effort is the helping force. Next we have the term mechanical advantage. A mechanical advantage in a machine is the ratio of load to the effort. So see here we have mechanical advantage. It's the ratio of load to effort. So this ratio is called mechanical advantage. Now depending upon magnitude of these two, we can get 3 types of mechanical advantage. See the first one. Now suppose effort is less and load is more. Effort is less than the load. Then in that case, mechanical advantage of the machine will be greater than 1. The case may be effort is equal to load. In this case, we will get mechanical advantage of machine equal to 1. Or we may have the third case also. Effort is more than the load. In this case, we will get mechanical advantage of machine less than 1. So that means machine can have mechanical advantage greater than 1, equal to 1 and less than 1. Now under what condition these machines are used? Here as I have given you the 4 points. So whenever we get mechanical advantage greater than 1, we say that the machine is acting as a force multiplier. So here you can say the first point will be applied over here. Now suppose mechanical advantage of machine is 1, then what's the use of that machine? Then we can say it helps in changing the direction of effort to a convenient direction. Now in case mechanical advantage of machine is less than 1, in that case we say that machine helps us to gain in speed. So these are the values of magnitude which may be greater than 1, less than 1 or less than or equal to 1, and we can apply these in these particular parts. So this was the term mechanical advantage. Okay, now coming to the next one, velocity ratio. Now what is velocity ratio? So see, velocity ratio is the ratio for velocity of effort to the velocity of load. This ratio is called velocity ratio. Now suppose a machine is moving, the effort point of the machine is moving a distance dE and the load point is moving a distance dL in time t. If dE is the distance moved by the effort point in time t, so we can get velocity ratio as and velocity of the load point as dL. So we have got, this is velocity of the effort point, this is the velocity of the load point. Now substituting these values in this formula, in place of VE you can substitute dE by T, and in place of VL, that is the velocity of load point, you can substitute so from here we get another definition for velocity ratio. So here we can say velocity ratio is the ratio for velocity of effort to the velocity of load, or we can also say that velocity ratio is the ratio of displacement of the effort point to the displacement of load point. So for these two terms, mechanical advantage and velocity ratio, we see in the definition both are represented as a ratio, and ratio has no unit. So that means these two will have no unit. These two will have no unit. These two were force, so their unit will be Newton. Now the next term we have work input. Now let us see what is work input. Now work input means work done on the machine, and work output means work done by the machine. Now first of all, work input. So work input means work done on the machine, and that work will be done by effort. So effort into displacement of effort point. Then we have work output. Work output means work done on the load by the machine. So load into displacement of load point. So this is the formula for calculating the work input and for work output. Now the last term we have efficiency. Now let's see what efficiency is. efficiency is the ratio of work output and work input. Okay, now we are going to derive relation between efficiency MA and VR. We are going to derive relation between these three terms. So let's see how we are going to derive this relation. Efficiency is equal to work output upon work input. Now work output can be replaced by this. So we are going to replace work output like this. Then we have work input, which can be replaced by so this can be written as now further we can write it like this. We will take reciprocal, change the sign like this. Now here we know that mechanical advantage is the ratio of load and effort. So this term load upon effort can be replaced by MA, and velocity ratio, it is the ratio of displacement of the effort to the displacement of load point. So this can be replaced by VR. So finally, what relation we are getting between these three terms? This is efficiency. As you can see, efficiency can be represented by the symbol eta. So finally, we can write over here the final result we get, efficiency is equal to MA upon VR. So this is the relation between the three. So hope this is now clear to you. These 7 terms we have discussed over here, and then finally we have derived the relation between MA, VR and efficiency. Now as efficiency is again a ratio, but mostly what we do, we represent efficiency in terms of percentage. So when we have to find efficiency in terms of percentage, you will be using the same formula and you will multiply it by 100 to get the efficiency percent. Now again we get 3 cases over here. Now in some cases we may get work output is equal to work input. Now this is only possible in ideal machines. Now first of all, let me tell you about the ideal machines. Machines in which there is no friction. The machines are weightless. Such machines are called to be ideal machine. And if we get a case of an ideal machine, we will say that whatever will be the work input, same amount of work will be the output. So for ideal machines, remember one thing, that work output is always equal to work input. Now if work output and work input are equal and they are substituted over here, work output upon work input, both are equal, they will cancel out and your efficiency will be equal to 1. Work output, work input, both are equal, cancelling out, so the result will be 1. Converting it into percentage, you can say it's 100%. So for an ideal machine, remember that efficiency is always equal to 1, or you can say it will be always 100%. Okay. Now using this result over here, so MA upon VR, so here efficiency is 1, so we are getting MA is equal to VR. So you have to remember this point. For an ideal machine, efficiency will be 1, and what will be the relation between MA and VR? MA will be equal to VR, because most of the times in the board exams they may ask you this question: write the efficiency for an ideal machine, or write down the relation between MA and VR in case of an ideal machine. So this will be the relation, and how this relation has been derived, it has been explained over here. Now let's see the second case. Second case is for practical machines. Now, what are the practical machines? Now, the machines in which you will find friction, you will find that the moving parts of the machine, they are not weightless. So such machines, they are known as practical machines. In practical machines, whatever will be your input, output will be always less. And why output is less? Because whatever we input, some part of that work is used against moving the frictional parts of the machine. So here we can say for practical machines, work output is less than work input. So if we apply it over here, work output is less and work input is more, means numerator is less, denominator is more, so this ratio will be less than 1. So we will say that efficiency of practical machines is less than 1, and in terms of percentage it is less than 100%. Okay. Now let us derive what will be the relation between MA and VR in this case. So we have efficiency is equal to MA upon VR. Okay, now efficiency is less than 1. So any ratio which is equal to efficiency, that will be less than 1. So we can write MA upon VR is less than 1. So what result we can get over here, that MA is less than VR. So these 2 points you must remember, they are mostly asked in the exams, that for an ideal machine and for a practical machine. So for practical machines, work output is less than the work input, so efficiency will be always less than 1. And thus what will be the relation between MA and VR? We will say that MA is less than VR. So class, this much of the topic we have completed over here. Hope this is clear to you. So just let me wind it up again. First thing that we did, that what is a machine, and that was done with the help of these 4 advantages that we get in using a machine. Then I explained you few of the terms which are related to machines, and then what will be the relation between these 3 terms. And lastly, we practiced about a practical machine and a ideal machine. So hope this much is clear to you. So the next part of it we will continue in the next topic. Thank you, class.